everybody, welcome to this video. I wanted to talk today about Brie Larson and the whole Captain Marvel situation. Now, this is just going to be an opinion from someone that has really no, what's the word, like interest in either side, because I do feel like, unfortunately, in the US, there are sides, and I don't necessarily subscribe to any one. That being said, I do kind of want to put my 2 cents on this because I feel like everybody is kind of right about this situation to a certain extent. And well, here we go. First off, Brie Larson. Um, Now I did watch the clip of her at the press conference where she said what she said about white men. I'm gonna say 110% that I find those comments racist and sexist. It just simply, that's definition wise, that is what those comments were. They were sexist and they were racist. And honestly, anybody who could say those kinds of things, I feel, should not be propped up by any company. Honestly, if, for example, I mean, just thinking about it from the opposite, if let's say there was a movie for, I don't know, The Flash, and whoever the actor is said, I don't want black women to interview me for whatever reason, because it's not the demographic that I want to go for, or because I don't care about their opinion. I'm pretty sure that it would not have been shown. That movie would not have been shown. It would have been just completely squashed. That being said, I don't necessarily think that in this case, I feel like it's more acceptable, even though it shouldn't be, for the things that Brie Larson said to be kind of glazed over because there's so many people saying it that aren't being held accountable for their words. But we've seen that economically that it has affected the MCU, and it has affected the producers and all that. So right now, I feel like they got their I'm not going to say they because really and truly it's just one person. Is Brie is getting her comeuppance. She said something racist, and she is being held responsible for that economically. And fortunately, I do feel it's so sad, honestly, that she dragged so many people. That I was watching Chris Stuckman talk about this issue, and he didn't, obviously, he's not the kind of person that is very political, but I did appreciate the fact that he talked about it in a way that was, I guess, mature, and said, it's sad that people that have passion for the art of movie making have to be, I guess, stifled because of political reasons, whether it be the trolls or whether it be Brie with her comments. It's just so sad. And honestly, I have a client right now that, by the way, I'm a barber, just so you guys know. I have a client who he works as a CGI artist, and he's also studying to better his degree. That being said, he has told me, I'm not the best at it, but I work really hard because I know I'm not as good as other people. I need to work twice as hard or 3 times as hard. And I thought, just thinking about it, like, what if he had worked on this movie, I mean, what if he had put time and effort and he was just proud? Like, I want my friends, I want my family to see this. I worked really hard on it. And then, because of things out of his control, people criticized him or the movie or didn't see it or didn't spend money on it. I don't know. I just think it's so sad, honestly. I think of it more on that side, and I feel like that just sucks. Those poor people, honestly, the ones that were passionate about this, it sucks that for a simple comment, they're being trashed and their movies being trashed. I'm gonna be honest, I already recorded this video, and part of it was to I kind of wanted the conservative, I don't know, like the conservative people, I'm just gonna call it that, to understand that, you know, maybe Brie didn't, like, she put her foot in her mouth, and we all do that, but maybe we could, like, do things in a way where we could, like, teach her. And my whole thing is, like, maybe we could have fixed the situation. Maybe her understanding how important her job is dependent on the people that she is downgrading, maybe that would help a lot for her to rethink her position on things. I thought maybe that's just, optimistically, maybe that'll happen. Then, honestly, today, as usual, YouTube puts up all of the, 23 or 20 questions with such and such person. Okay, just I'm going to talk about the perception I had, and this is 100% maybe totally incorrect. I don't know Brie. I can't say maybe this is what she's like all the time. Personally, I felt she was very defensive, but she was not asked any questions that were necessarily politically oriented or that pressured her. It was just simple things like what's Brie Larson's favorite color, things like that. I'm gonna specifically talk about one question that it rubbed me the wrong way, the way that she asked it. She said the question was, "Did Brie Larson go to college?" And she said, like, almost who the hell is asking these kinds of stupid questions? Just that kind of pretentious nature is the way it came off to me. And I thought, okay, well, okay, I have a bad experience with her attitude in that press conference. I watched this, I have another bad experience with her attitude. Then I watched one where she was with Samuel L. Jackson and they were doing something, same thing again. I feel like it's a very repetitive that she comes off to me as someone who's very pretentious. I feel like you can't put your foot in your mouth that many times without it just being a reflection of who you are as a person. Like Halsey, I mean, she's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous woman. Um, she can sing her heart out. Halsey just, it was repetitive and over and over and over and over. And I kept thinking, maybe she puts her foot in her mouth. Maybe she's just the kind of person that comes off in a certain way. And now I'm just like, okay, you're the kind of person that likes to provoke anger. And I don't respect that in people. So I'm just not going to watch you or your stuff. Or even on SNL, I thought she was good. I mean, she's not the best host they've ever had, but she was good. Uh, and even so, it was kind of hard for me to get to the point where I wanted to watch that episode because I was like, ugh, why did it have to be Halsey? And it feels so sad. It's like when you're walking down the street and you see that neighbor that you're like, I don't know why I don't like you, but just like I will cross the street and walk on the other side to avoid you. And that's so sad. I feel like I don't know what they're doing or why they're doing it, that they just purposely want to come off as off putting people. But at the end of the day, with Brie Larson, what she said is unforgivable. It just is. I mean, what she said was sexist and racist. Hey guys, just very quickly, I lost the audio for the last part of the video, and so I decided to re-record it very quickly. I just wanted to finish up by saying that I think that Brie Larson, initially, in my opinion, I thought maybe she had just put her foot in her mouth. Then I realized that that's just consistently the way she is. And from there, I just decided like I couldn't really support her as a person. And I couldn't really support, um, the production companies and the PR teams because they were acting as if nothing had happened, and that's really messed up, especially because the comments were so disgusting and vile. That being said, like I mentioned, I really hope that people, if they don't like the movie because of her, that maybe they make it very clear that that's the case. I know that a lot of people, for example, if you don't like a movie or you don't like something about the movie, like the main character or something like that, you'll say, no, I'm not that petty where I'll just like downvote it because this person is in it. No, I'm not downvoting it for that reasoning. I'm downvoting it because it legitimately was a shitty film, And it's like maybe it is, but if you're gonna say it's a shitty film just because of Brie, please don't. So many people worked really hard on it. If you legitimately think it's a bad film, which from what I'm hearing, a lot of people are saying that there are legitimate concerns. Chris Stuckman, and what is it, John Flickinger, they talked about the movie, and there were a lot of concerns that they had about it, and those are, legitimate. when it comes to the rest of you guys, just remember that it's a lot of people's livelihoods that are at stake, and a lot of people who don't really give a shit about Bree or her point of view or her politics. They just want to provide for their families, doing something they're passionate about, and keep that in mind. And let's just hope in the future that this is something that will open people's eyes to the fact that uh, the majority of people are not going to accept this kind of racism anymore. We don't accept people saying disgusting, vile things towards minorities, and the same thing when it comes to white people. It's just, if we have to treat everybody equally if we want to be equal. So let's just hope that's the case. Anyway, so I'll just leave you guys with that. If you disagree with what I had to say, put it down below. And, well, I just hope you all have a great day. Bye.